Come on, guys. It's I, your host. You already know, Simon, and I'm the founder of Vice Versa Talent. Thank you guys for coming. It's good to see people here, even though there's no one, but it's still great. It's still great to be here. And it's my show, so I am going to have fun. Let me just put some banners up. Come on now. Woo! Now we're looking good. Now we're looking fresh. It's good to be here. I hope everyone's had a fantastic week. And today is really going to be a good show, as you know, I'm really going to show you guys some of the conversations and really debunking some of the conversations and package it in a way that you guys can take away and work on yourselves, which is what you want. So it's good to be here. I hope everyone's had a good week in light of the defeat on Sunday. England did lose. I'm sure some of you guys watched it, and they had a great tournament. And yeah, it's life. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but ultimately you want to learn. Forgive me for this annoying thing that constantly shaking. Great. So I am going to be talking about mindset today, and it's just so important. It's so important. Really, really important. But before we jump in, if you haven't already, you already know what to do. Smash a like on the button. If you haven't already, share and subscribe as well, because that's obviously really going to help. And that's really going to, show me that I'm going in the right direction. So please do subscribe to my channel. It's a big red button. You can't miss it. You already know. Also, to those watching on Twitch, Vice Versa Talent is also on Twitch as well. So for all those who are watching on Twitch, it's good to have you. I'm so happy that you guys are tuning in as well. Please do smash a like and also subscribe or follow the channel. So, as I always do with all of my shows, except for last week, because England were playing in the semi-final, I thought, you know what, let me let you guys get ready for that. But today, I do go back to my live Q&As, which I do, and I will be unpackaging any kind of answers, I will be giving any answers to any questions that you may potentially have regarding, the things I discussed, which is all jobs, careers, all jobs, all things, the careers and jobs. So do let me know on that. Is there anyone in the building? There's no one in the building at the moment, but that's all good. That's all good. So the top employee mindset, or I should have said winner's mindset. I think for me, I've said it on this channel time and time again, the mindset is the most powerful thing that you have. You think of, any great athlete. I was watching Djokovic the other day, and he was in was it the French Open? The French Open, he was 2 sets down and he's in the final. And there was a point when he was literally just having a break, and one of the fans heard him talking to himself, and I was saying to myself, that is so powerful that he's sitting down, he's 2 sets down, he's going into the last set, he's about to lose the final, and somehow, some way, he's able to pick himself up by uttering the things that are the most dearest, or uttering things that's contrary to what he's feeling. I think that's absolutely phenomenal, because it displays an unbelievable strength of will and mindset. And, I love watching sports, because I feel, for me, there's such a strong correlation between business and sports and athletes. It's the same kind of processing. And I think it's the same for for anybody going into anything, you've got to have that mindset. You've got to have it. And I'm really gonna unpackage that today. And I think just have like a background story of my motivation for this topic today. You know, a couple of weeks ago, I did say that I wanted to talk more about, you know, the post bit of once you've had a job and what it means to be in an organization and to work for a company. What would that be, and what did you need to bring to get that success? And you know, some candidates I've been working with, you know, really presented something to me, and I was just like, it's the mentality. It's the mentality. So just a quick background story. You know, the candidate, you know, had, you know, found a position, and, you know, I'm really good friends with the CEO and the COO of the company, and, you know, they're really happy with the candidate. They really think the candidate has, you know, strong potential, but the candidate felt really overwhelmed, especially as it's a startup. So, you know, the company is a startup, and it felt a bit overwhelmed, felt that the company was disorganized. And instead of seeing the opportunities that was there, the candidate decided to leave because he felt that, you know, he wasn't learning anything from the company, and he felt like it was all on him, and all these other things, which is excuses. And I think ultimately hearing that, it really, like, I could say really annoyed me a lot. Really annoyed me a lot, because I've never heard such things. But I understand that these things are common. And when I do speak with other, you know, CEOs, other founders, other hiring managers, they are sharing this kind of mindset that a lot of young people have. I don't know who's watching now, but whether you're young or whether you're old, I know that this mindset is contagious, and I can actually say it's a disease, because it's rubbish, and that's plain and simple. It's rubbish, and I can say these things. Why? Because you know, where I stand, I get to see both sides. I get to see both sides of the table, you could say, being in the middle. But ultimately, being a founder myself, I understand what is required, and I'm going to unpackage what is needed for you to win. Now, we're going to start with this. It's very simple. Positivity. Like, the positivity is one of the most contagious things that I feel, that no matter what it is that you do, if you are positive, naturally somebody is going to gravitate towards you, because that's what it does. Positivity gravitates things towards you. This is how the whole concept of The Secret was formed, because of you know, confessing positive affirmations. It's stated that if you speak enough positivity, then you're going to attract those things. And those things, I do agree that ultimately, what are the things you say, you will see the fruit of the things that you say. So when you're at a company, where you're at, you know, you're starting a new company, new business, whatever it is, no matter how bad things are, you've got to be speaking positivity, because it's so easy to point at the negatives. There's negatives everywhere. And the fact of the matter is there's no scenario, there's not a single workplace, there's not a single scenario where everything is rosy and everything is great. Even in some of the biggest companies, whether it's Amazon, Google, Netflix, Apple, whatever it is, there's no such thing as a place where everything that you thought is just there. There is going to be a place where you have to adjust, and you have to see the positives. And it's the positives is what you need to latch onto. It's the things that you have to confess. Even when things don't go your way, you've got to speak positive things, because it's so easy for the glass to be half empty. But your position as an employee has to be it's half full. It's half full. It can't be complaining. All that is nonsense. All of that is nonsense. And what will happen is you get in the habit of complaining, and you'll start to see it in your own performance at work. Your work performance will show, because you will see the results. In your KPIs, in your sales targets, it will show. It will show. And then what have you got to say for yourself? You see, you've got to be speaking positivity, because when you speak into a situation, you're speaking life. You're speaking life or energy. It's you. So you've got to be speaking those things. And when you speak those things, things will change. The environments will change. You're in a place where you can make changes, because you're opening up your mind to different options. If you're just all negative, the brain doesn't work if it's not given something to work with. So if you're like, oh, it's just hard, the brain won't compute, or it won't act, because there's nothing to act on. Let your brain do its thing. Be yourself, and let yourself and your brain work together to bring a result. And that leads on to my next point, which is quite simple. Quite simple. And this, again, positivity. Every athlete, you think of every athlete. I mean, I just mentioned Djokovic. You know, he's there. He's about to lose the French Open. He's speaking to himself. He's speaking to himself. Why? Because it's him. He knows that if he's not doing it, no one else is going to do it. And that leads to this. Wow. Flop the drop, but it's all good. We come back. Ownership. I like ownership is a great word. Very, very similar. It is like ownership, it is like responsibility, but I like to use the slang term for ownership. Ownership, own your shit. That is what you need to do. You need to own it. If you think of any great athlete, any great team, any successful person, they have that sense of ownership. They're owning their responsibility. I think one of the great things that I feel like has changed just in my mindset is that I always try to look at what I did first. Like, everything is my fault. And I have to be that, especially being the founder of a company and a person who used to be employed. Like, you have to be thinking in your mind, okay, what am I doing? What have I done? I have to assess what it is I did. Because if I don't, I'm going to be looking like the victim. I'm always going to be excusing my own behavior. You've got to look at it the other way. Because if you look at it as you're the victim, then it's very difficult to take full responsibility. But whereas if you take the full responsibility, the full weight of it, even regardless how ridiculous it is, you're going to audit yourself in a place where you can really make massive changes. It's the small changes that makes the biggest difference. You know, I'm reading this book called Atomic Habits, and it's by James Clear, by the way, if you guys want to check it out. And he said this thing that was so banging. It's so amazing. He said, winners and losers have the same goal. Let me say that again. Winners and losers have the same goal. That's crazy. That's crazy, but it's so true. They both have the same goal. But the difference is the application they're going to do, the application they're going to implement, that's going to make the biggest difference to get into that goal. And it's the same thing. Whatever has happened at that work, whatever's happening at your workplace, whatever's happening, you got to take responsibility for your part in it. You know, irrespective of the team, irrespective of the manager, you have to take ownership. If there is something that hasn't been done, it's your fault. If there's something that needs to be done, it's your fault. If there's something that you have yet to complete, it's your fault. When you start thinking like this, you start to think as a winner, because what you're going to do is you're going to provide that place with enough value that's going to make a difference. It's going to make a difference, but it's also going to rub off on your other teammates. It's going to rub off on the people that are connected to you, because that is what you call ownership. You're taking charge of it. You're being proactive. You're on the front foot of your actions and ultimately your decisions. So ownership, own your ship, own your shit. And that's going to drive you to this part. Because once you can own your ship and people can see it, now you can go into this part. Leadership, which is to lead your ship. Really simple. If you can own your ship, then you can lead your ship. Very, very simple. But it's very, very difficult to do, because for you to be in that position, it means that you've already understood the concept of ownership. Because when you start leading people and when you're in a place where you are influencing other people, ultimately you understand your place in that circle. And I feel like, any winner, any top winner, they're not only people who are responsible or have ownership. They're not people who are like super positive, but they're also people who have leadership qualities, and they understand that things may not be perfect. I may even have setbacks, but I have to lead and I have to push. And because of those things that I have, because I'm positive, it's going to be attracting people to me. People are going to be attracted to that energy. That energy is not for you. It's neither is it for me. It's for everyone else around me, so that everyone else raises their bar. There's too many people that go into workplaces and they're just like, it just is what it is. There's this process that they do. It's long. It's tedious. It's too taxing on my time. The fact that you have that thought, the fact that you have that means you're in a place. It's your responsibility, ownership, to now go in and add value to try and see how you can streamline that action. How can you make it more efficient? How can you make it more faster? How can you make it better? That is leadership. That's literally leadership, because you've seen something. There's a problem. You now have a solution. You're now taking responsibility, so ownership of it, and now you're going to act, which is that part of leadership, which is now you're acting on all those things. I speak to too many founders, too many CEOs, and they're literally saying that it is the skills and the mindset is which is stopping people from getting work. If you are going to interviews and you're not getting the job, you have to start looking at why you're not getting that job, because there's a reason why. And I can guarantee you, if it's not your interview techniques and the way they're answering the questions, then it's definitely going to be mindset. It's definitely going to be mindset, because if you have this mindset, ultimately, without this mindset, I think it's almost impossible to go and get a job. This mindset has to be the foundation, and everything else is on top. All your interview techniques and all of that is built on this. If it's not built on this, you are not gonna win, because this is what they want. If you let's just say you're a CEO, you're a founder of your business. What kind of people do you want to hire? What kind of people do you want to hire? Do you want to hire losers, or do you want to hire winners? Winners, they take responsibility. Winners are leaders. Winners are positive. And those are the things you want, because ultimately, if it's the opposite, it's going to have a detrimental effect on everyone else that's connected to that person. So let's get it in. Let's see where we at now. Humility. This is a really key one. A lot of the clients I'm working with, they really talk about this as being quite massive as well. And when they say humility is the understanding that you can get it wrong, but you're still open to learning. And I think that's quite a stumbling block for a lot of people, because sometimes if you're going to something quite specific, whether it's like, back-end developer, or, business development, or, social media exec, or digital marketing manager, sometimes you can go into a position where you feel like you know it all. And the fact of the matter is that you can always learn. That should always be your position. Always be your position, especially when you're in a company, when you're working for someone, or even if you're running your own company. I run my own company, but I'm always open to learning. I have to be, because if I'm not open to learning, you then have to look at my results and be like, well, if you're not seeing the results, then you have to be learning some new things for you to progress. Because for you to progress, you need to learn something. Otherwise, you'd already be there. And if you're not there, then you've got to start learning. You have to start learning, and that has to be your position. Because if you're at a workplace, you're there to learn, you're there to grow, and you've got to have that sense of humility, because otherwise you're not going to take it in, you're not going to receive. It's going to be a stumbling block for you and ultimately others, because that's how frustrations start to arise. That's how lack of communication will start to arise, and ultimately performances will start to stutter and stunt the company's growth. So again, this has to be your position. You want to be a winner at work. You want to be able to rub off on others. You want to be able to help your teammates. It starts here. Humility. I probably should have started with humility. But humility and positivity, those things are gold. They're gold, because, you'll find that people will come to you for help, but also you can go to others, because nobody knows it all. There's always something that you can learn, and, you have to take advantage of that. The candidate that who just left that workplace, which I was saying to you before, he didn't understand what was required. It's his first job, working as a back-end developer for this company. And he didn't understand that his position wasn't, it wasn't one where it's like, okay, it may be disorganized. It may be a mess, but you know what? I'll go and learn it. And not only am I going to learn it, I'm going to learn it so I can teach it. It's an opportunity. And that's what humility does. Humility is very, very amazing thing, because humility is like the glasses that allows you to see the opportunities that are there. Because if you don't have humility, it's almost like you take away your sight of seeing an actual opportunity that's right in front of you. Literally right in front of you. And I encourage everyone to literally put those glasses back on, because you're going to be seeing opportunities all around. There are opportunities all around. So really take hold of that. And this one is latched with positivity. But if the two are joined, for me, this is the thing that drives action. And it's this one. Passion. It drives it. It's one of the most powerful things. It's the most powerful things in the world is passion. Because if you have passion for something, you have a passion for your work, you have a passion for what the company is doing. Boy, I mean, the sky is the limit. It is the absolute limit. If you can match that positivity and passion and you put it together, it's gold dust. I think of the scenario I was telling you about, the candidate leaving and not seeing the opportunity. If he had really had that passion, because, I'm not taking anything away from the candidate. The candidate is a phenomenal candidate. Really, really is exceptionally skilled. So much so he actually was learning things about coding and things all by himself from 12 years old. I challenged him. I said to him, at 12 years old, You, of your own initiative, from your own passion for it, decided to go and learn that yourself. Why is it that you did that then and you can't do it now? And that's what passion does. Passion made him do it like himself. But in a workplace, he couldn't bring it. And that's because all of the other things he didn't have, the ownership, the positivity, he didn't see it, and also the humility to see the opportunity. But the passion is the first thing. You know, I was watching, I was listening to a video from Kobe Bryant, and he was talking about one training session that he was doing on the court. So what happened was he did training with the team and he carried on training, and then there was another person from another team, and I think he was gonna play him in like 2 weeks. Came in the court, was training. What Kobe did was he stayed on the court and carried on training even though the guy was there. He just carried on training, so the guy could see that, okay, this guy's getting in. The guy left. Kobe still training. He then saw the guy after the match, and he was like, Kobe, obviously, like, you know, I saw you on the court. You was training, and I was training with you, and you know, obviously, you did a training session with the team, and you know, I then came on, did a few reps, and left. But you were still there. Why was you still there? And he said because he wanted to show that he was the best. He wanted to show that he was the guy. I'm that guy. And he stayed even after that guy was still there. He still stayed. That's the kind of stuff that you need to be bringing to work. Now, I don't care. Like, I don't care what's happened. I don't care what's going on. When you're at work, you've got to be bringing that passion. Companies want to see that, because out of that passion is going to drive results. It's not the skills that you have. Everyone's got skills. Skills can be learned. Passion, you can't learn that. No matter what, you can't learn it. You cannot learn passion. It's not something that you learn. It's either you have it or you don't. And it's those things are the fine margins that make the difference between winners and losers. It's the passion that's going to decide on whether you're going to be great or not. It's the passion that's going to decide whether you're going to do that extra bit of work or not. It's the passion that's going to decide whether you're going to be excellent or not. It's the driving force. Without it, you're not going nowhere. And I'm so passionate about that. You have to be passionate. When you're passionate, that's when you see amazing results. Because you've got all the skills, you've got all of those things, and you have this passion, it's going to make you stand out from other people, because not everyone has passion. So, yeah, I think I'll end it there. And I'll open up the floor to questions. As I always do, please do drop some comments in the comments page, the comments part, as it is quite lagged. So do throw it in. But yeah, I hope that really helps. These are the attributes of winners. And we can run through it again while you guys are getting your questions. Really simple. Positivity, ownership, leadership, humility, and passion. What's you guys' passion saying? Come on. So yeah, where's the comments at? Where we at? I can't see anything. Whoops. Is it up here? Okay. There are four people on today, which is fantastic. It's great to see you lot all here. Okay. So yeah, but in regards to these things, yeah, these are the main top things, as well as skills. Yes, clients are looking for skills. You know, I've been doing a lot of work, especially on LinkedIn, and I've been speaking with loads of different people in loads of different sectors, and it's very interesting to see how many people kind of disregards skills. And it's actually a point that I actually wanted to make. If you are at work and you do see things that aren't there, and you see things that are lacking in regards to, I don't know, maybe there's a particular process that you feel needs to be added, and you need training, or there's just something that's missing. Maybe it's a different department. Maybe it's something that maybe something that needs to be, I don't know, like automated, or whatever it is your responsibility to go and find that out. And that's just how I see it. If you need to go and take a course, it's your responsibility to go and get on the course. I know, like, I've had conversations and some people are like, well, maybe it's the partnership. Maybe it's the joint responsibility. That's the word, the joint responsibility of the employer to do that. But I don't think it is. I don't think it is the employer's responsibility to do that. I think it's the employee's responsibility to at least make the employer aware of the lack or of the idea that can be implemented to help the company. But ultimately, if it's something that you can do on your own, then do it, bring it, because again, that's what winners do. They go see, they go get, they go find, they do it, they get it done. So go and do that, because ultimately, if you do that, it's going to take you to a new level, and ultimately, it really should give you should get you to another role, and get you that promotion if you are still looking to be there. But if you're not, still bring that, because those things that you brought there, you could take to another company and be in a different position or higher position. So there's always that to learn. So do take hold of that. Do take hold of that. I'm trying to see if there's any more comments. And if there's not, okay, there's no more comments. All right. Well, if there ain't any comments and there ain't other, just questions, then I'm gonna call it there. But I want to thank you all for attending. As always, I like to bring stuff, and I hope you guys were inspired, and I hope you guys had the foresight, and you could see the position of what it is I'm bringing to you and the value that I'm trying to bring to you guys. So fantastic, and thank you for being here. So yeah, have a good night, have a great week, and I shall see you all next week. Also, before we go, if you haven't already, hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Vice Versa Live, you already know. Share across your platforms, your friends, your family, and I shall see you all next week. Have a good night, and God bless.